This video is probably going to be long no matter how short I try and make it, so I'm going to split it up into sections. There'll be timestamps, and that way you can kind of look for a specific section on the video itself instead of kind of waiting through the whole thing for whatever specific section you're going for. I'm going to be covering the fact, of course, that we hit 1,000 subscribers, talk about things like no straight roads, the history of this channel, some thank yous, and then of course what we're going to be doing up next. There's a couple things I promised and a couple things I intend to keep those promises for, but just kind of giving you like a time schedule so you know when exactly to look out for those things instead of kind of looking out for everything. So with that being said, first and foremost, I kind of want to talk about no straight roads. And just the fact that I heard about it first, of course, like I say in the videos, I heard about it from the first person was Uncle Ali themselves, the voice actor for DJ Subatomic Supernova. I've known them for a while. I knew the game was coming out for a while. I got pushed back a couple times, but I said when it came out, I was going to play it. And so enough, when it came out, I played it and I definitely enjoyed it. And I would definitely recommend other people that have been watching my playthroughs also go play the game as well, because it just turned out to be a blast. And I'm happy I played it regardless of the numbers. But obviously the numbers are kind of a speaking point here, because even though there's some games that came before it, which we'll be talking about, like V3 and other things like that too. We'll be talking about all of that as we go through this video. That game right now, all the episodes are basically some of the most popular videos on the entire channel. Like for the longest, Goofy Old Town Roads, which is a video idea I threw together in like 20 minutes, was the Reigning King as like the top video on the channel for like a year. Then I made like a VR chat video back in May that's almost at 10,000 now, that's built up over time. But then these like Let's Plays hit and they just popped off for various reasons, and I'm incredibly grateful basically to that game, to all of the nice people that have swung through and commented and stuff on those episodes, as well as Uncle Ali himself. I'm so happy for them. Talking to them in Discord, they described it at one point as basically a dream come true, getting to be a part of it and stuff like that. So I'm very happy for them. I'm also very happy, I have to admit, for us as well over here on the channel, for how just well it did, because like I said, I was going to play it anyways. I was going to play it in support of them regardless, but to see it then kind of do so well was very nice, actually, especially because the reaction was nice, right? Like historically, if I can move into like the history of this channel and then ggGetJinxed as well. ggGetJinxed, and I kind of did a video about this specifically because a popular and prominent creator, both in the League community and kind of in general, named Scooch, did a video about kind of like the League subreddit and kind of how League content is now versus how it's kind of been in the past decade. And so I made a response video, which is kind of an agreement and also just kind of my own experience. That's kind of a history of ggGetJinxed, and it's kind of long in terms of like it's like 10 minutes. I'm going to try and summarize it here by saying it originally was a variety channel. It became kind of consumed with League of Legends when I was more of a creative kind of person, where I want to do creative League of Legends content. That kind of content's kind of in limbo right now, so I kind of burnt out doing kind of like the whole, oh, we gotta talk about the PBE, we gotta talk about how broken something is, even if I don't feel like it's broken, and things like that. So the channel still exists because I have an agreement with the Jinx subreddit to do the weekly videos. So if nothing else, those would always kind of be a thing. I haven't stopped that since 2016. So it's been 4 years of at least doing one video on YouTube every single week since 2016. So that's one thing. But two, that's how this channel kind of came to be. In late 2018, I created this channel. We put like a couple of videos up here and there, and then 2019 kind of started the gears going because I wanted to do, and I like making videos. I like being creative. I like doing the Let's Plays. I kind of like doing the skits, doing the comedy, doing the music even if I'm not good at it, I like doing it. So I kind of do it anyways. And that's why this channel kind of basically came to be. On top of that, it's not really like League related, right? Like Gamrison is like my own name fused with the word game, and that's something I can take into all kinds of different games and different things, and it's kind of like my own brand. ggGetJinxed is technically my own brand too, but like ggGetJinxed is the name of Jinx's theme song from League of Legends, and GG is like something people say in gaming period, you know, good game. So it's good game, get jinxed. And if for some reason, I don't think it ever would happen, something either happened to League of Legends, it got bad to be associated with League of Legends, or just the song got copyrighted so heavily suddenly by Riot that I had to drop the get jinxed part. Like, it's just good to kind of have my own name and brand kind of a thing basically too. But when the channel basically started, late 2018, basically early 2019, we were kind of all over the place with the content, and that was kind of on purpose because I kind of wanted to just kind of do whatever, and I didn't really care necessarily about kind of refining the channel, so to speak. Even to this day, there's certain ideas that I did on ggGetJinxed that I kind of wanted the chance to pull over and do over here that I still might do, just because I could do them better now. But that's kind of how it was. But we did do like our first Let's Play series with the Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 in March of 2019. I really enjoyed doing that. And then we kind of coasted our way through 2019, kind of doing videos here and there, mostly on other people too. Like we've talked about Nagzz and people like that as well, and I've enjoyed doing those videos. And speaking of how this whole kind of started, the history, if I can kind of summarize this in like 2 minutes or less, is I kind of was hopping around different chats and different streams at the time. Nagzz and Zentreya, both on like the same day, decided they wanted to raid like smaller streamers and kind of like share the love, if you will, kind of pay it forward. It's a term Nagzz will use pretty often. And I somehow ended up on Markiplier's stream. I've told the story before, and he was kind of actually doing the same thing. And so we found someone named Big Cheese KIT. They're still streaming and going strong, and he gifted 50 subs to that person. I ended up being one of those 50 subs, so I basically got gifted a sub by Markiplier to somebody, and I made a video basically kind of relating all three of them, and as well as KIT, into a video. Later on, someone sent that video to like Zentreya actually, and she saw it and kind of tweeted it out too. And that was like the first time I kind of made a video, and I didn't make it for like fame or popularity. I just made it because I thought it was cool. I thought what they were doing was cool, and that was the first time I made a video and someone saw it, that it was about them, and like they liked it. And that specifically I kind of enjoyed, though. I kind of like the idea of making videos for other people that they kind of liked and enjoyed that way. So I kind of kept doing that for a while too. I made another video because I was incredibly humbled by Nagzz and his community, as a matter of fact. In July of that year, I made that video. It was kind of, I think it was just called Stay Humble, and it was kind of my promise as we grew to kind of stay humble and make sure I pay it forward when I get in that position. And this is kind of the start of that as well too, which is why I'm making this video. But also, as we head into like about August, September of 2019, that's when Minecraft was popping off again for the first time, like it's a renaissance. And so I started playing that on the channel. We went to bending the ink machine, Plants vs. Zombies for October and stuff like that. And then that's kind of where the Let's Plays kind of started solidifying a little bit. If we flash forward a little bit to April of this year, I did a 50-day challenge. It was originally a 30-day challenge. Obviously, a lot of us are at home for like a very specific reason. And I decided, okay, well, let me just actually do several Let's Play series. I have all this free time as it is, if I'm going to be home anyways. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me, you know, see if I can do it. Let me see if I can commit to doing it, because you always hear those talks about you got to do daily content, you got to grind, you know, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I'm always up for a challenge. Challenge accepted. So I did that. We played some more Minecraft. We played Mega Man 11. We even played Sonic Forces. We played A Hat in Time. We played some one-off games. So we played like Getting Over It. We played Siren Head. We played a couple of different games, and I actually completed a 50. It was about 54 days actually challenge, and it was fun. But also the results of it was kind of interesting too. We went into the challenge at about 140 subs. 140 people. That fills up a room pretty quick. That's a lot of people. And we ended that challenge at about 177, almost about a sub a day. And the watch time actually went up. We were struggling to break 600 hours, and we got about 800 hours off of that. In June of that year, I laid off a little bit, kind of did videos when I felt like it again, more so than grinding. And then this game came out called HellTaker. And that game was, all I saw was people always tweeting out like fan art of it all over my timeline. I think like even like Nagzz and people, like all of y'all, I would always see like retweets from people of it. And I was like, what is this? Is that like a new show or something? So I looked into it. It's a free game. It was free on Steam. That's something that I didn't know. So I decided to play it. I did my own playthrough, and it did pretty well for a video that ended up being an hour long, because the like 7th dungeon and stuff it beat me up. If you've seen the video, you know those things beat me up. But I also implemented a strategy where I decided to start clipping or taking the funniest parts, like just 20 seconds or so, throwing them up on this app you might have heard of called TikTok. And people have their own opinions about TikTok. I'm not going to convince you differently. Do you? If you want to think it's cringe or whatever, fine. But the idea was I'd put them up there and then kind of funnel people back to the channel as kind of a self-growth strategy. Because you don't really want to rely on things like shout-outs and stuff like that if you can. Not because it isn't nice, obviously, to get one, or if someone's nice and does something like that for you, but in terms of the ideas you can't grow on YouTube anymore. There's no way to organically grow and do things like that. And I was, again, challenge accepted. I was like, okay, well, what if I did this, right? Like, this app apparently is pretty popular, especially right now in the lockdown, where like apparently got 80 million downloads right now. So obviously there's an audience for everybody on there, gaming included. So that's how I'd say that started, was actually off the back of that game and kind of that strategy. Then we moved on into good old Danganronpa. I've been wanting to play Danganronpa for a long long time on the channel, and so I finally got to do it. So I played the first game, I played the second game, I kind of played them back to back, 15 episodes each. I accidentally did another 30-day challenge. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but it's how it kind of turned out, and it was cool because the growth kind of continued. And then people were commenting that were like super kind and super nice and stuff like that too, and we saw kind of that grow up until we got about to like 350, and so suddenly, you know, we were at like 140 before the first 50-day challenge in April, and suddenly we're at 350. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I can grow this by like 2021, like a good 2 years or so, we can hit that 1,000. And then No Straight Roads finally came out, so I actually ended up doing a quick video in between about like what we're doing with the channel going next and stuff like that, and then No Straight Roads dropped, and I was like, okay, well, now I'm definitely playing this game like I said I would, and it popped off. And the first episode got like 11,000 views. The second episode has almost 25,000 views. The third episode's up there in like 17,000, something like that. And it's all positive. And I say that because I brought up League earlier, where it's like, I know how to make popular videos in League of Legends, but the ratio's not going to be kind to me if I do. People are going to be very angry. They're going to call things clickbait that clearly aren't clickbait, but I also just don't have the energy to debate with the League community anymore on certain things. So that's also that too. It's just draining to listen to the same arguments and stuff over there. So I have to admit, I am happy to those supporters that are still over there, that are like both incredibly kind, but also like watch the videos. They still like the videos and enjoy the videos. That's why I keep making the videos over there for them. But like, I do know how to make the algorithm work when it comes to League content and make stuff pop. League community just always ain't for stuff, and even if they're for stuff, like, they want information quick, so they'll watch like the first minute of your video, and if you don't give them what they're looking for, they'll leave the video, and if you do give them what they're looking for, they'll leave the video. So it is kind of hard to make something over there that kind of also can be watched a while, which is also why this channel and watching you guys not only watch the episodes but watch them for a long length of time was so incredibly cool. So thank you for that, actually. That's also what I'm getting towards. Well, all this build-up is for is an extended thank you, because then we rolled into No Straight Roads, then we rolled into Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls, and I was afraid there was going to be some fall-off because it wasn't No Straight Roads, but no, some of you stuck around, some of you watched the videos and stuff like that. A lot of those videos they actually just did better than I thought they were going to do. And I did them because I was going to do them anyways. I wanted to play those games, so I was going to play those games kind of anyway, especially because it's the 10-year anniversary of Danganronpa. But to see that stay, basically to see that many people stay, was pretty incredible. So I appreciate that, is what I'm saying, in this long-winded like history of the channel and where we are now. Thank you. So first and foremost, let's talk about Danganronpa V3, because I did promise people I was going to play it, and I am going to play it. But the news that I'm going to like announce about it is, I think I originally said by the latest we'll start playing it by November 1st. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to purposely start it on November 1st, so that way if you're here for Danganronpa V3, you'll have a specific date to look out for it, instead of like checking every day to see, oh, maybe it was today, maybe it was this day, maybe it's... No, now you'll know for sure if I do that, when specifically it's going to come out. And some people are going to be like, well, that's like a month away. Why would you do that? Why not start it sooner, etc., etc.? Two things. One, when I tried to give like a shout out to, I believe, Neimann, Neimann. They're also close to 1,000 subscribers. They're also playing through the Danganronpa series. Go check them out. I also realized that a lot of you were already subscribed to like a lot of people that have been coming up in my recommendeds that are also playing the Danganronpa series. And a lot of our episodes are just long, because that's the way the game kind of is. So by me waiting till then, because some of you guys are extremely loyal at this point in terms of like actually watching the episodes, and I appreciate it, and I want to kind of make your lives a little bit easier if you're also watching all these other people as well, because with Danganronpa specifically, I'll admit, because I was talking to Nagzz like just the other Friday about this, honestly, I don't really want to do 2-hour-long playthroughs of anything really ever again. I'll do it for V3, of course. Like, the Danganronpa franchise will be the exception, but if I can, I never want to do super long playthroughs ever again. Like, an hour is like my limit as it is. I really would rather kind of keep it to like the 20-minute, 30-minute range, because it's gameplay, so we want to get through some significant portions of a story or game or something, of course. But like 2 hours, that's long. That is long, especially when you're trying to edit it and render it. And I have Windows Movie Maker, so I mean, that means it already takes like an hour for it to load into Movie Maker, then actually go through and try and like lightly edit it, because I'm not gonna have the time necessarily to edit a 2.5-hour video, then save it, which takes like another hour, then upload it to YouTube, which takes at least 30 minutes to an hour to upload it, then for the SD to process is the same length as the video, so that's another 2.5 hours. If you're keeping up with the math right now, we're closing in on like a third of a day just trying to get a video up on YouTube. Not counting sleep, not counting eating, not counting other things that we have to work on like college, which takes precedence over everything else. But I say that to say, so that way, if I do that, you can enjoy other people's videos and also have other time like in your day to do stuff. Also know when we're gonna be playing V3, because obviously there's the anime and stuff in between to go and watch and do before we can even start the game anyways. One person's been asking for me to react to the Danganronpa 3 anime. There is an issue with reacting to that on YouTube. They've suggested doing it on Twitch. There's also an issue with doing it on Twitch. So we'll see how I go about that. Maybe I'll just make a video of like my thoughts on it like afterwards, kind of like a reaction there, and I'll write down like my reactions like in a notebook as I watch through it, right? And then I can like have the notebook and we can kind of go over the things like that. So it's like a pseudo reaction kind of a thing where I don't really have time to collect my thoughts over time, but like here's my initial, I don't know, we'll see what we do about that, because I think that's an interesting idea to do, and I kind of want to do it because someone's been asking for it and they were kind of nice about it actually. But that's my idea. It could change, right? Like if I put this video up and people actually watch this long and they're like, well, you don't have to do that. I'm fine watching your video and like 4 other people's like 2-hour-long videos, which could be like 10 hours in a day of just watching Danganronpa videos, which more power to you, but I'm just basically, it gets on me a bit. And you see, I got tilted a little bit, especially in the second game, I believe. Once we got into like Trial 4 onwards, I got tilted. Well, actually, it was really Trial 3. Trial 3 tilted me because of camera angle. Trial 4 tilted me for some other reasons too. Hangman's Gambit as a whole tilted me, but part of that tilt came from, hey, I'm trying to make this episode, it's already not very consumable. If someone's gonna watch it, I kind of want to like basically ace everything to make it easier for people to have more time in their day, since people are actually sitting here. I see the analytics, they're watching this, so I want to make sure that it's as short as possible, given that it is Danganronpa. So that's my idea. You can go kind of enjoy other people's playthroughs and kind of watch theirs, and then you'll know when ours is, and that way you can come back and watch that when you want to. If you want to stick around, of course, and watch whatever we do between now and then, that's enjoyable too. That's also why we didn't start it immediately, because like there is the anime and stuff like that to get to and whatnot, and there's that as well. So that's my thinking. A couple of reasons there, right? So there's the time you can kind of spread out, so it's not all at once and grinding and all that stuff, and there we go. Secondly, when it comes to No Straight Roads, I did promise you a perfect parry mode episode of all the bosses. At this point in time, I'm still getting bodied by basically all of the bosses, so I might break it up by boss instead. So like, instead of all the bosses, the next one might be DJ Subatomic Supernova Perfect Parry Mode as its own episode. And I want to ask you guys a little bit of a favor, if I can, if you're watching at this point, because and you don't obviously have to abide by it, it's a favor, but those first 3 episodes did extremely well, and I'm incredibly humbled and grateful and appreciative of them. But one thing about those videos versus, say, episode like 13 we just did versus Tatiana, and like the parry mode and hard mode and stuff, is I got my butt kicked in those 3 episodes. So, and while they're not rude, I do get comments about people saying like, do you know how to jump or dodge at all? Because I got bodied, especially in like the Yinu and 1010 episode. I just got destroyed. I'm a little bit colorblind, so I couldn't tell what I was supposed to parry as well. That didn't help either. So it would be nice if I could put out a more recent video where we've actually gotten skillful and good at the game. If one of those videos could kind of do a little bit well as well too, so that way people can have the comparison and be like, oh, he looks like he's actually really bad. Oh wait, no, he's gotten so much better. Just like a little bit of a favor. You don't have to like just spread the video and like it and stuff when I drop that at whatever point. I'd appreciate that. You guys have already been doing that. I don't really like doing like goals, so to speak, because I'm not gonna not put out a video anyways. I'm gonna probably put out the next video regardless. But like, if I could ask a favor for those that are watching this part, that would be it. If we could just maybe make one of those do okay too, so that way those people that are commenting can maybe get recommended one of those videos instead, and just kind of see, oh no, he's gotten better. This was him at the very beginning of the game. This is him now. It's all good. Appreciate it. Funny enough, though, speaking of No Straight Roads as well, like the future of it, seeing some of the comments as well, like there's some comments like that, and like I said, they're not malicious or mean or anything like that. It's like when I look back at those, I'm like, yeah, the me of now could body the me of then, basically. That's how it works. But some of the comments have just been extremely nice too. There are some people that they're like, I'm so glad I stayed. It's nice to see you kind of shout out other creators and stuff like that. You seem like a really cool person. There was one person that just got excited because I actually replied to their comment. Apparently YouTubers like never reply to their comments ever, and I'm like, well, I mean, I try to reply all the time, so there we go, you came to the right place. There was one person that was kind of funny, episode 2 specifically. I tend to overuse the really shocked face, the face and stuff like that. So someone's like, you should make that your own pog emote, and I'm like, now I've done that on my Discord server, and if I ever get more emotes on Twitch, I'm gonna make that an emote, my own pog emote, because why not? I do definitely, I kind of use that for everything. Is it a boss fight? Is it a shocking reveal? Is it that we actually brushed our teeth twice today? Like, I kind of do overuse that quite. It's probably gonna be in the thumbnail of this video. It's probably say like thank you. I'm just gonna put that face all around it like a ring or something, just as the joke. But yeah, that's the idea for No Straight Roads V3, the history of the channel. And then now, what are we gonna be doing going forward to kind of round this video out? I am a little bit sorry, it's a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. Some of the things I thought about doing. Next year marks the, you know how kind of we're doing like the 10-year anniversary of Danganronpa, so we're playing through the Danganronpa series. One of my first ever Let's Play series was the Sonic Adventure and the Sonic Adventure 2 games. I love those games. It's not nostalgia. It's not rose-tinted glasses. I play those games constantly all the time still, and I still love them. That's why partly I did that. But also, next year is technically Sonic's 30th, and there's been rumors about them remaking the Sonic Adventure games. And now that I have, like, you know, like a higher quality camera, a better running PC, I kind of want to replay through those games. Like, I do like another Let's Play series of those games. It obviously would be a little bit different, so that way we're not just basically copying the first one, because YouTube doesn't like repeating content, stuff like that. I kind of want to throw that idea out there of like replaying the Sonic Adventure games in next year. This wouldn't be immediately. This would be like next year, heading into 2021, because that would be the 30th year for Sonic. I think that'd be kind of fun, something fun to do. I still like those games. I think it'd be fun now with an audience and stuff like that too. We had an audience back then, to be fair, as well. I don't want to discredit anybody that came before we hit this like burst of subscribers. All of y'all, the Danganronpa people, the No Straight Roads people, even the HT people, even everybody before that. People in Nagz's community, when Nagzz actually would watch. He's watched a couple of my videos actually on stream at this point, and I should actually kind of roll into some of the thank yous at this point as well. And he's going to be definitely one of the people I start off with, because I've definitely had a lot of conversations recently and also just prior about just YouTube in general. If you don't know who Nagzz21 is, because sometimes I mention him in the Danganronpa videos, kind of have you go watch his videos, and he, or you might not have known who he is. I've seen some of you actually in his chat now. I saw Snow, your boy Snow. I saw they were in there and they actually got gifted a sub, which is on par with how everybody is if you go over there. You'll most likely you just get gifted a sub. That's just how it works over there. That's how his community is, and it's great. So I'll start with him, kind of like a segue here. And I should have had something to drink, because I'm talking a whole lot and I'm not really stopping or drinking anything. Oh man, that was a bad idea. But when it comes to Nagzz and his community, right? I guess I'll start with how I found his community. I might have found it the same way if you found it, you did find it. He did VR chat videos back in 2017. He basically played this game and he kind of wanted to show people the fun and joy of the game. So he made videos and they popped off back in 2017. And I think the Weird House Party one was actually the one that popped up in my recommended. It's the one that has like KimplE in the box and stuff like that. And I think it's actually the first video too. I think episode 4 did very well as well, but I think that was the one that popped up in mine. But what I didn't know at the time was, well, I'll get into this later too, I didn't know people that did YouTube also would do streaming. And at the time I found that video, it was already like November 2017, and I was watching Dyrus. I've told this story before too. Dyrus was up on my TV because I have the Roku stick, so we can have Twitch streams up on the TV. Except of course conveniently during the lockdown and stuff, the app doesn't work anymore, unfortunately, which would have been the perfect time for it to work. It kind of acted like a second monitor basically. And so I saw that he was Sans from Undertale, he was at Hope Speak Academy from Danganronpa, he was hanging out with like Draven from League of Legends, a Gundam, and they like just left Los Santos from Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm like, what the heck is that game? So I go and look. I actually just bring up his stream over here. They're playing this game called VR Chat. There's a couple other people in there as well, Whoops and other people as well. And then I saw KimplE for the first time through Dyrus actually. Dyrus was doing like a 24-hour stream, and so of course there she was with the Stay Hydrated and stuff too. And that's how I actually found KimplE's stream. And then from like basically 2018 onwards, through KimplE's when I started seeing some other people. And then again, we run into Nagzz. Nagzz actually streamed, and I didn't know that because I was like, oh, there's nobody that does both, right? And sure enough, he did. So that's why I found his stream for the first time, was I believe she rated him, actually. It was still during the crossover too and stuff like that. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. You might have to fact check me on that. But the point was, then there was another time where there's the 2-year anniversary now at this point. We're going to flash forward a bit, actually, to the 2-year, or I guess it was 1-year anniversary of like the VR Chat Adventures. It was August 2018. And in that particular stream, I got hit in a gift sub bomb. And I remember exactly what exactly happened, because my kind of thing, if I get gifted a sub in a chat, I gotta go thank the person that gifted me the sub. I can't stay silent anymore. I have to say something. And so I did. I spoke, I said the thank yous, and the rest is kind of history at that point, because then I kept coming back. There was a lot of fun things that were going on. Obviously, even though he doesn't stream or do the videos for VR chat anymore, he still streams like every week, several days a week. There's a lot of content stuff going on over there. And the chat's also just been incredibly kind, which is something that also kept me around, like KimplE's stream as well, for that matter, was just that usually when it came to streams, it was very rare that I found communities that were something that I wanted to speak up in. Like, there's a lot of streamers I'd watch, but I'll stay silent in the chat, because especially because my first kind of experience with Twitch was watching like the League of Legends World Championship. I don't want to touch that chat like with a long stick if I can help it most of the time. But these were communities that I definitely wanted to actually be a part of and kind of talk with and do things with and converse with, and now through that I ended up meeting Nagzz and VR chat and stuff like that, and basically I got to talk to him about YouTube, his own experience with his first channel. He's launched a second channel now. It's pretty successful. He's actually launched a third channel now, Normie Reviews, which is a pretty interesting channel, so you can go check that out as well. That's how it is. It's spelled how it is, and if it's not, I'll put the text somewhere so you can see it. But yeah, I've had several conversations now, his own thinkings, his own thought process, his own advice and stuff, and so I definitely want to extend a thank you to him, and also his community, because like I said, when he's watched some of my videos on his stream and stuff, it's usually met then with some people from the stream just coming over and saying thank you and hearts and just love and appreciation. Some of them subscribe. Some of them were my first subscribers before like the 200, before the 50-day challenge, like before the 100, even before all of that. Some of them, it was them, so thank you to them as well. We're gonna segue though into KimplE a little bit too, because I did kind of mention them already, and their community, there's some people to this day that help me out with some technical stuff as well. I've mentioned Steam and Steam Shell Kit as well, and people like that. All of them that I kind of met through that community as well, that have been very fun people to be around. I enjoy being around them day to day and things like that. When we do projects, when we do draw piles, when we do all of the things, everything except the Markiplier thing, which I'm sorry for creating. I get it now. I'm sorry. I will tell that story. No more, actually. No, I won't tell that story. I'll tell it briefly. The long, no context. Actually, I'll do. I'll give you the story, no context. KimplE's, or Markiplier's head, when he's in the pirate character, Captain Magnum from a heist with Markiplier, on KimplE's body. That's it. That, no context, nothing else. You get nothing else. That's the whole story. You want more? Sorry. There's other people I want to thank too. Keeping it within VR chat at the moment, I want to thank Curry as well. Kind of the same concept with Zentreya too, where I made a video, and I just made it because like they were shooting for partner. I wanted them to get partner. If anybody was watching me that didn't watch them, go watch them. They're a great person. Go see what they're up to. Go see what they're doing. They're always on the grind, and even if they've had high days and low days, probably you could ask them in terms of like maybe like their not mentality, but like, you know, when you're grinding for long enough, some days are probably better than others, and maybe they have their own stories about that too. But like they never gave up. They had this drive to keep going, and they're definitely someone that I would recommend when it comes to talking about things like drive and stuff like that too, because they were in the trenches for that for like 5 years, and they hit partner with Twitch, and it was well deserved, long overdue, and you know, congrats to them again for hitting that, and you should definitely go check them out also. But also, yeah, they're one of the people, as well as Nagzz and some of the other people I'm going to name in this video too, when I think of like, you know, not quitting and not giving up on things just because it gets difficult, right? Like sometimes you got to know when to fold them, as the saying goes. Sometimes it's not time to fold them. You're actually just giving up too soon. And that's not always the case. I don't want to put that in people's head like, oh, you know, never give up. Never, you know, you got to make certain decisions as life hands you cards. But sometimes the issue is that you just don't want to fight an uphill battle that you can fight if you're willing to fight it, right? Does that make sense? I feel like that doesn't make sense now that I say it out loud. I feel like it sounds cooler in my head, but I'm basically saying is there's certain fights where the issues you're shying away from them, but you can do the fight. It might take some time. It's definitely gonna be a battle, but you are like worthy of the mountaintop, is what I'm basically trying to say. And so it's mainly just doubts in your head or something like that, some bad days maybe that are kind of preventing you from reaching a success that you do deserve, actually. So sometimes it's a matter of like having that drive, having that grind, having that passion, and keeping going at it. And Curry is definitely one of the people that I say is definitely an example of that kind of idea, that like ideology personified. It's Curry still doing VR chat stuff and RP stuff, or just grinding stuff, period, Monster Hunter World, whatever. At this point in time, he's playing Genshin Impact. I have him over on this screen right now, as a matter of fact. 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 2 whatever, it doesn't matter if it's the morning, if it's the evening, wherever, he's just going, and that's definitely deserved. So also a thank you to him too, because that's definitely an inspiration as well. I also want to bring up ScarizardPlays and their community. They were one of the first communities I ever kind of were a part of in Twitch back in 2017. 2017 was a year that definitely existed. Let's just say that. And their streams were some of the first streams, if not the only streams at one point that I was watching. I could connect with the people in there and talk to them personally and kind of get through that year on that side of it. I definitely have my family and stuff, which I do want to take a time to, of course, to thank my mother, my siblings. They've always been in my corner, kind of like from day one. Not a lot of people can have that, right? But I did. I definitely have very supportive people in this household, and I'm incredibly thankful for them. They don't think it's weird. They don't think it's odd. They actually watch the videos. They try and comment when they can, and it's great. They try and tell people about it, and I'm incredibly grateful to actually be able to have a family like that. So this specific one actually goes to them too, for that regards. But also in terms of Scarizard, like, because they're a former Rioter, they kind of took a leap on streaming with their backlog and stuff like that. It turned out well for them. They got partners and stuff like that too. They also grinded, and they were also kind of really adamant about certain things and how to do certain things and how to get to certain places. And they've also been someone that's also been pretty supportive too. They're one of the first people that I probably met outside of my family that was really supportive about the idea of me succeeding in this kind of a avenue, if you will. Without saying, oh no, you should probably just quit. It's probably smarter to do something else. And again, I want to make it perfectly clear. There are probably some times in life that they're going to pose you positions where it's like, it is the better idea, the smarter idea, the less dreamer idea to actually look at doing something else. But also there's certain times where sometimes having people in your corner like that is all you need, again, to drive. And Scarizard is definitely one of those people to check out if you've never met them before. I actually got to meet them like literally in person, actually. It was PAX West, the PAX that no one goes to anymore, unfortunately. That's a joke, by the way. People obviously go to PAX. They go to all the PAXs, but I feel like now that it's not PAX Prime anymore, and there's so many other options too. Like before the year, it's a lot more times and chances to see people, and that's kind of cool. But I got to meet them actually at PAX West, and you're not allowed to have like a normal meeting when you meet them in person. So they specifically proposed that they lift me up, and so they did actually. They look strong, of course, but maybe it's just because I always feel like I'm always fat. The fact that they picked me up, I'm impressed by that. So yeah, thank you to them as well. That whole kind of era as well, and to this day, like I still watch them to this day. It's not like that's a specific era and they're gone. All of these people are people I still watch, and you should watch too, as a matter of fact, and show them love and support as well, because they definitely deserve it. But that's also part of it too. Sometimes having people like that in your corner is like the difference maker. Sometimes having people saying, you know what, you're not there yet, but you could be there. I think you could be there. I think you have the potential. I think you have the voice. I think you have the ability to get there. Sometimes that's sometimes all you need in your corner sometimes to keep going on a day-to-day basis. And it's not that, well, if you're passionate enough about it, you'll be able to do it anyways. It doesn't mean sometimes there aren't some rainy days. It rains sometimes, doesn't it? The sun is out, and when the sun is out, it's not out right now, by the way. That's false advertising. I'm sorry. The sun is out sometimes though. And it's great, obviously, especially when there's a breeze, so it's not humid. It's a nice, sunny, breezy, cool, but also hot, but also a perfect day. I get it. But sometimes it rains. And sometimes when it rains, it's okay to like feel down that it's raining because you had plans. You want to go to the park. You wanted to climb a tree so you could write a picture book or something. I don't know. Do you? I'm not going to judge. But you can't. It's raining. There you go. So, that happens. And when that happens, it's kind of cool to be able to have the people go, hey, we're all stuck indoors. Let's jump online and do something then. That's what I'm saying. That's the analogy that I'm getting towards. All of these people, great people. Go and check them out, please. V3 will be happening. No Straight Roads will be happening in the future, I guess. The future of this channel, if I can. We'll talk about Nagzz real quick, too. I made a promise in regards to V3. And so I need you guys' help on this promise as well, as a means to also promote somebody else, actually more so than another favor. I promised them, because Nagzz has this thing when he's gone through the Danganronpa series called BOP Gang. Now, if you know me at all from there, you know I am Logic Gang. Now, what is BOP Gang and Logic Gang? In short, without spoiling it, of course, in case you haven't seen any of the games or you want to go see their playthrough specifically, basically, BOP Gang, the idea of BOP Gang is you kind of just accuse somebody and you kind of just roll with your own logic, so to speak, right? Nagzz will kind of just look at somebody and the sprite will be slightly glitched and he'll be like, you're the blackened, and then he'll just go off on a whole thing about why that's the case. But what makes it legendary, what makes BOP Gang so frustratingly amazing, is how many times he's done something like that and it was absolutely correct. I've seen people struggle with doing things logically that took him to a logical road that even though the Blackened was not the right person, logically, it made sense. They put it together, it makes sense. I'm like, okay, it's not correct, but I could see why you would get there at least. It's all there. It's like a math test where you showed your work and it's all there. It makes sense. We're good. This is Nagzz. This is Nagzz and BOP Gang when it comes to a math test. You wanted 2 + 2, they gave you a fish. And you're like, what is this? And when you go through the fish, guess what? In this analogy, it met another fish. This fish met another fish, and so now there's 2 fishes. So guess what they did? They had babies. It's 2 fishes. They had 2 kids because it's 2 fishes, and now it's 4. So guess what? 2 + 2 is 4. That's BOP Gang. That's BOP Gang somehow. Somehow that's BOP Gang. That's BOP Gang in a nutshell. Is just hey, what's 2 + 2? You still got 4, but it's the most worst logic. How do you know that fish doesn't get eaten by a bear? How do you know that fish even swims upstream if it's a salmon or something? No, it's a fish. It looks at another fish. They have 2 kids because there's 2 fish and it's 4 total. That's BOP Gang. That's BOP Gang in a nutshell. And he's done that for basically the entire first game and the entire second game now. At one point, he span a wheel. Like, he just went on the online site, span a wheel, and it got right the Blackened twice for 2 trials in a row. And it makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. So I decided to make a bet with Nagzz. I saw them last Friday in VR chat. I made a bet because I bet that BOP Gang will not survive V3. If they do, I promised I would make Nagzz and BOP Gang a wrap. And I'm saying it here so that there's video evidence as well. They'll be getting a wrap. If BOP Gang gets... We decided that a tie goes to BOP Gang. So if BOP Gang even goes 3-3 or 3-4 or 3-7, however many trials are in V3, actually, now that I think about it, whatever, as long as it's a tie or positive win record. So if actually, I probably shouldn't spoil because I don't, there could be... Point is, if they go tie, so if there's 8 trials, if they go 4-4, tie goes to BOP Gang. I will make them a rap, and I'll make Nagzz a rap. It'll be the same song, not too different. Let me just clarify. Maybe it'll be 2 verses, 1 for Nagzz, 1 for BOP. I don't know how I'll plan it out yet. But that's how much confidence I have that Logic Gang will win V3 at least. But the favor I'm asking for you guys is, when V3 does happen over there, make sure to go follow Nagzz and go watch that adventure. Because I will say, as much as I am Logic Gang, as much as BOP Gang frustrates me, it is one of the most amazing, frustratingly amazing, but awesome, but also horrible, but also still cool things I've ever seen. I Logic Gang all day, but BOP Gang is still fun to watch. So definitely, head over there and watch that. Head over there now anyways, and just kind of sit there and just wait until V3 happens, because V3 might not be for a month or so, but you might find yourself enjoying being over there prior anyways. And all of the people I mentioned, so KimplE, Kuri, ScarizardPlays, there's so many more people I could name as well, if I'm being honest. But this video, I'm looking at it, it's almost 40 minutes long. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say all of these things in it. So for October, one of the things, speaking of a wrap though, I should mention is that's one of the ideas I wanted to pull over from ggGetJinxed. I kind of at this point want to start putting some of those ideas over here before we get too much bigger. I hope you guys won't mind. Like, since it is going to be October, there's like a Knuckles Pumpkin Hill wrap I made in 2017 that there's some videos in 2017, let's just say, like I mentioned earlier, it was a year. I want to redo because I didn't like 2017. I didn't like the things I did in 2017 in terms of some of those. The execution on them was bad and whatnot. So there's a Knuckles Pumpkin Hill wrap that I want to do. It was supposed to be a cipher. I want to redo it and bring it over here to kind of ring in October. I hope y'all don't mind because it's not No Straight Roads or Danganronpa. Since possibly I'm going to be losing this bet anyways, we better start getting some practice in since I'm not really a rap artist. So that's going to probably actually be the next video after this one. Or it's going to be the DJ Subatomic Supernova Perfect Parry and then the Knuckles rap. So that's going to be something kind of fun to look forward to. But yes, in conclusion, in the immediate future, there is a game I promised I would play in October that we all know what it is. If you've been watching some of the past videos, I'm not looking forward to it, but a promise is a promise. So I'm going to be doing it because I'm a man of my word. So that will be coming next as well. The Perfect Parry will be coming out at some point. The other episodes, I'm not sure. I got to not get my butt kicked. That would help. That would definitely help. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you everybody for watching this video. There's so much more I could say, but this video is already 40 minutes long and I don't want it to be any longer. I want to try and cut down whatever I can and get the timestamps up and things like that. So I apologize. This video is way too long. But yeah, also, I guess the final thought was, If you notice, we kind of moved to doing videos every other day, because speaking of Nagzz and my mother and everybody else that's watching the videos, some of them are literally trying to watch every single video. And while I appreciate that, y'all have lives. Y'all got things to do, right? Like Nagzz is a fellow content creator, even though he's more on the Twitch side, even though he's kind of back on the YouTube side again too, right? Like he has a life. And so me making really long videos every single day, that's not helping nobody. Well, the algorithm likes it. That is one thing. The algorithm really did like a lot of that stuff. That's one thing I can bring up actually over here. Hold on one second. Which scene do I select? Okay, so like if we look at like the algorithm, if we look at specifically when No Straight Roads started. So if I go custom, I go back to, and I'm just going back to No Straight Roads, because if we go back to like the beginning of the first, whatchamacallit, earlier, what, no, not 26, what is going on here? What am I doing? I'm throwing. Why are you up? No, just sit there and be cheese, okay? There we go. Wait, why not? Yeah, so we apply that. Okay, thank you for sticking with me for a second there. You can ignore the revenue. Oh yeah, by the way, we got partnered already. So we hit the 1,000 subscribers. YouTube already reviewed the channel in like 3 days and got us partnered. So I went through and had to manually monetize every video about like a couple hours before doing this video. So there we go. But here, even from No Straight Roads, which also counts Danganronpa and some of those videos doing well and stuff too, right? Like 110,000 views is insane for a channel my size, even at 1,000 subscribers. 15,000 hours of watch time. You need 4,000 hours to hit the partner requirement. We almost hit 4 times that at one point. Almost 700 of the subscribers came in since about a month from now. And like I said, you can ignore this part. And just looking at like these peaks and stuff like this, for some reason it groups the videos up like this, probably because I'm doing a wider range. These are actually just daily, not 2 videos a day. That would have been insane. But going down here, right, like you have the episode 2, again, 25,000, almost 26,000 views. A lot of these in the tens of thousands. Even these ones, why is that in the way still? There's still thousands of views here. And like, there's the VR chat video, of course, doing its own thing randomly. And then randomly a Victoria's Skin video, because I know doing a Victoria's Skin video with League is going to do well. And I did experiment on this channel just to prove, oh, I could still do it. I could still do League stuff if I really wanted to. Make no question. But yeah, like the reach. So basically, how many times your video thumbnails were shown to viewers? My video thumbnails were shown to 1.1 million people since August 26th. Okay, which also begs the question of, should I, like the call to action thing? Like some people make fun of the whole, you know, smash the like button, like, comment, subscribe thing. Part of the reason people do that and at the beginning of a video is because stuff like this, I imagine, I guess, I'm assuming, if that many people see your video and you do that enough in your videos, maybe that draws people in. If you're in that boat, obviously, usually people, if you get this many impressions or just impressions period, you don't even usually convert half of that to like viewers and stuff like that too. I'm just happy we hit the 1,000. I'm not here looking to be like, ah, yes, 1 million people. Now what are we gonna do? Let's be super ambitious and let's create our own video platform. No, let's not. First of all, even if I was at 1 million, I wouldn't do that. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's be happy with where we are. We can be ambitious about the future, but I mean, let's appreciate what I'm saying, where we are. But like, the click-through rate, which means like views per impression is shown, measures how often viewers watch the video after seeing an impression, right? You have the views themselves, you have the unique viewers, which means some people watch the video multiple times and or watch multiple videos, like the same subscriber will watch like the videos as they came out, which is insane. Engagement, we saw that. Average view time of 8 minutes, 16 seconds, which is pretty high. That's a lot higher than my 57-second average watch time that was prior, so that's pretty neat. Audience-wise, like we saw the numbers, we saw a lot of subscribers come in here, but there were subscribers prior, like the Danganronpa gang. Shout out to y'all. Y'all stuck around actually, and it was cool to see that. This is a new tab. We can ignore this. This is completely irrelevant actually, as you see. Like this just came in. Wow, what really already? Ooh, okay, maybe this channel has something going for it. Wait a second. But yeah, so that is something. And then if we go over here, we see important notifications. Welcome to the YouTube Partner Program. Congratulations, you have been accepted into the Partner Program. And you can now monetize your channel and contact support. Holy heck, it's happened. It's actually happened. It's just actually happened. Oh, wait, there's more comments too. Oh, hold on real quick. I gotta find, there's somebody. I'm sorry. There was somebody in here. Hey, can you please shout me out in your newest video? Geo plays super. I don't know if this shout out will actually help. But in any case, by all means, if anyone here, like it sounds like they play games as well, like we play games, and so if you want to go check them out, help them out, see if you can help them get to that first even 100 as well, head over there and see how that goes. I should have screened this first, because there's held for review and stuff. Maybe we should get out of here. Let's go back to analytics. Timeout. Whoa, pause. Or we just go to the channel itself, so you can look at the channel from my perspective. What I see now. So if we hit videos, and especially if we organize by, sort by, I should say, most popular. Yeah, there we go. And then, like I said, this was the king for a while, and now these have overthrown it, and thank you. Basically, just thank you. Oh, this is the one video I was talking about with KIT, Markiplier, Nagzz, and Zentreya, and all of those communities, basically, right? So, like, them, like I said, KimplE, Scarizard, Curry, there's so many I could actually name that I'm trying to scroll down and find the one video because it has like all of them in it. Where is it? Please come up. Yeah, this one. You even have like Captain Blackrock and Chaotic Neutral, right, and all them. Some of the animators and stuff, and some of the things they did that I decided to be inspired by. And there's a lot of people worth talking to and conversing with and checking out. And I'm glad we are where we are. We still have pizza, by the way. So thank you so much for watching this video, and as I said, make sure to go check out those other people. I'm not gonna say make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm pretty sure this late in the video, if you're gonna do that, you've probably already done that. One thing I will end this video on, however, is a little bit of a question, because and I kind of wanted to talk next time I talk to Nagzz too, and just other people that do content creation as well. I want to pick their brains about this, but if they're watching this video, then I want to pick their brains right now, and then they can answer whenever they feel like it. You know how like mobile gaming and just mobile period is a lot bigger of a market than people thought it was? Like, it's part of why when you make thumbnails, you got to make sure that they can be seen on a mobile screen, because a lot of people watch videos on a mobile device. So when it comes to making thumbnails, for example, if you're going to use dark text, you got to use like a bright background so that way it contrasts enough to be able to be seen, and vice versa. If you're going to use light text, don't use a light background, because even in Photoshop, it might look great in Photoshop, but like in reality on a small screen, it doesn't look that great. Mobile is really important when it comes to doing videos and stuff like that too, for reasons like that. You hear it all the time. My battery's gonna die. I'm on my phone. I'll see you guys later in chat. When it comes to websites and stuff like that too, right? I'm, for example, not on Facebook. I also tend to not really spread my stuff on Reddit. Are those actually like the mobile of spreading content though, or not? Because like obviously this is great. And I like I said, I appreciate this. I'm not looking to be like, oh, this could be better. No, this is fine. But I do notice that there are a lot of people that have like at least like a brand page on some of those places specifically, so they can put stuff out over there because there's an audience over there. And I do kind of wonder about that a little bit, if that's if that's something to look into, if that's something to either invest in, or alternatively not to invest in and not do that. I'd like to know your thoughts, actually, for people that either consume content on those platforms as well and things like that. Is that something to worth be doing, or not? Or I should just stick to like things like Twitter and Tumblr. Actually, has been an interesting one too when it comes to No Straight Roads. Putting my videos on there with hashtags, they've got reblogged and stuff over there, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's actually where we're going to be ending this video. So thank you so much for watching this video. I actually do know which video will be next. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So until next time, take care and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for watching. And actually, another thing to end the video on, let me swap back to the other scene, which is over here, because if you haven't noticed, we got Pumpkin Hill behind us. But this is actually kind of a makeshift green screen where I have other things too. Like if I turn off Pumpkin Hill, I got the classic like YouTuber background kind of a thing. Actually, that's one of Markiplier's old backgrounds, I think, as a matter of fact. It's not my background. What is this one? Ah, yes, it's this one where I can have that back there, which looks kind of nice, doesn't it? Especially on stream, because on stream, when it's nice and small in the corner, it looks even better. You can see some of the staticky stuff here. I basically have a curtain behind me that I had to put like 6-7 filters on it to make a green screen out and be able to put images behind me. So at some point, I guess I gotta get an actual green screen, because that would make this whole process easier and probably cleaner and probably would look cool. So yeah, that's where we're in the video. Basically, use color keys if you're in the same situation. You don't have to necessarily have a green screen. If you can't afford one, use a white wall, whatever behind you, and there you go. So see you later. And again, thank you.